This is my war horn. I got it specifically for this video. It was this or the kazoo, honestly. You know me. I'm all about that increased production quality. You're probably wondering, Weibo, what's up with the change of set? Well, my roommate moved out of our room, so that means that I get a double room all to myself, hence the change in set. I gotta utilize that space, yo. Know what I'm talking about? That being said, this is the third and final installment of the Kangs trilogy, which is what I'm retroactively calling it now. And when I say final, I mean final. I have a backlog of content, the length of my dick to get to, that has been put off to deal with the shenanigans. We need to get back to our regularly scheduled program. We cannot deviate. I will have order. Now, since this is the last in a line of epic grand soliloquies on the matter of literal ancient history, I'd better make it fucking fantastic. And I think I've already gotten off to a good start. I also need to make it interesting for you guys. I don't want you to get bored with long-winded statements of nothing and woe that never end and begin in the middle of a statement. Foreshadowing. Some background for you. It started off with a simple news story about some art historian's passion project dedicated to a dead woman. Who knew it would proceed to such glorious new heights? It truly is a magnificent thing. Praise Apophis, the ancient Egyptian god of chaos, and by happy coincidence, the sworn enemy of Amun-Ra. Praise him for the bountiful shitpost fest that we're about to embark on. That joke will become all the more meaningful in just a moment, my friends. Don't you worry. I'm all about the savory, sweet, slow burn comedy, my dudes. And so, if you're unfamiliar with what exactly it is that has transpired, I suggest you take a quick gander at my Nefertiti video. As to get caught up. The debate you should watch as well. It's about 3 or so hours. Good luck. It starts about 15 minutes in when he actually finally shows up to the fucking debate. But because I've edited a lot of it down for this video's sake to a mere 14 minutes of content highlight, that you're not going to get the full wind of what actually transpired. Which, by the way, is also a shit show. But don't you worry. I'll fill you in where necessary, and the rest will be revealed in due time. For now, I think I'll let our humble and ever-eloquent speaker, Radio 1, do the introductions. That was sarcasm, by the way, if it were unclear. And all I gotta say is thank God he made his initial victory lap short and sweet. It could have been shorter, not gonna lie. You could have cut out like 3 minutes of this video, had the exact same points made. But we're gonna continue on with this because I enjoy a good masochism fest.
Yeah, what up, YouTube? It's your brother Radio 1, Peace and Hotel. We first give all honor and all praise to the God of my ancestors, the God of Africa, His Majesty the Most High, Amun-Ra.
I give you props, man. That's about the most straightforward, sensical, and succinct statement I think I've ever heard you make. You'll see why I say that in a minute, my young Padawans, for those on the edges of their seat who have no fucking clue what's going on, and for those of you who know of what I speak, don't spoil it.
Now, in this video, I want to let my subscribers and supporters know that I had a debate last night, okay? Now, I was not prepared for this debate. It was a last-minute thing, and I really didn't want to do it, but I did it anyway.
Au contraire, my sweet pocket Monty, I have receipts from as far back as 4 weeks ago in my comments section, and those statements don't match up with what you've said to me. To summarize, he's just made 3 claims. 1, that he was not prepared. 2, that it was a last-minute thing, and 3, that he really didn't want to do it. Keep those in mind going forward. So for some context, here are some screenshots from my comments section on that particular Nefertiti video. At Weibo Jones, come out and respond, you little lying cursed with the leprosy racist coward wannabe Egyptian European cave mutant dog. Would you like to engage with me in a discussion about my video and the issues that you have with me and my video face-to-face on a live stream next weekend? I feel like that might be a tad more productive than talking at each other in the comments. At Weibo Jones, I don't have my live stream set up yet, but I will be working on it for this. And when I do get it set up, yes, I will be more than happy to have a discussion with you, because you are a disrespectful, racist, uneducated little girl that needs to be taught a lesson. You got the little part right. And you better be ready to answer some serious questions. Oh, serious questions. Oh, jeez. Like, who's the first pharaoh? That's a serious question. It's a very serious question. Oh, jeez. Sorry. It's... I don't have a watch, but it's 4 in the morning. I'm a little bit out of it. Anyway, continue. Did you catch that? He's more than happy to have a discussion with me. Also, the fact that you were game several weeks ago for this makes that claim that it was last minute utterly and undeniably false. Why don't we do this on a neutral third party's channel? That way my audience doesn't inundate you with too much aggression and yours doesn't me. I can't think of a few platforms that host debates. You can message me on Twitter at WeeboJones or email me at weebo0jones@gmail.com, yada yada. So we can set this up. Send me the link or invite and let's get it on. And then we're talking about email and stuff, and I said at Radio 1, let's schedule this debate. It is your live stream, so what is it do you want me to email you so we can set this up? Please be more specific. Sunday will be perfect for me, but in the meantime, I want you to look at this documentary about some Egyptian tribes. Anyway, the point is, he said Sunday. He set the time. And so let's get on to the email from our correspondence. By the way, this is February 12th to 13th. I responded to your email, and yes, I am very serious about this, but I am new to this live stream thing, so what is it that you need from me to have his discussion? So get back at me so that I can properly educate you and your racist friends about the true origin and race of the ancient Egyptians, my ancestors. Me. Forgive me for my late reply. I was asleep and had to attend an 8 a.m. class. I have been in contact with a third-party host whose platform we can use to engage in this discussion. They will act as a moderator in a sense and ensure that neither of us gets too heated in order that this discussion is productive. When I hear back from them confirming that they can host a discussion, we then have to decide on an ideal time that works for both of us. That might be rather limited as I'm a full-time student, however usually the weekends work well for me, but I can try to flex around sometimes midweek if need be. And then I continue on. Since you're new to this streaming thing, I will walk you through it. Typically, I or the host himself will send you a Google Hangout link. When you click the link, it will take you to a Hangout session where the host and I will be. This will either already be broadcasting or waiting to go live on their channel. From there, we can talk about the subject in question at length face to face. Do you have any questions? Sunday, the 18th in the afternoon or evening would be perfect for me. Sunday afternoon works best. I'll email you the link on the day of. Is there a specific time you had in mind? From 2 to 3 p.m. would be perfect for me. So, it was all set up. All good. Now, I had arranged for it to be on Sinatra Says' channel, and he had a week prior to that date to prepare for this debate. He even set the date himself, mind you. That's very important. So, was he unprepared? It's unlikely. Last minute thing? Obviously not. Maybe he wasn't lying out of his ass when he said he really didn't want to debate after all. I don't know. Because as you well know, the debate didn't actually happen on Sinatra's channel the 18th of February, and here's the reason why. February 17th, the night before said debate was supposed to happen. Just checking to make sure you're still available for tomorrow, 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. February 18th, the day of, I think it was at 4 in the morning. I actually have plans that caught me by surprise, and I will be on the road Sunday and doing a lot of traveling, and I won't be back home until Thursday, so maybe we do it some other time, because this is definitely a bad time for me, just letting you know. So, he canceled on me, which happens, things come up, life gets in the way, we can always reschedule, this kind of thing. Whereas life, not so much. Life waits for no man. So I wrote back. Fair enough. We can definitely reschedule. Just give me your next rate of availability, and I'll see what I can manage. And then I wrote back again after a few days of radio silence. Pun intended. Sorry. February 23rd. Me. It's been a few days and I haven't heard back from you. Are you still interested? And if yes, are there any other dates that you are available for our discussion? Next weekend on Sunday, March 4th would be perfect for me, because by that time, I will be all settled down. And again, the debate date is set a week in advance. Again, by Radio 1, which you should keep in mind. Alright, same time as the original time then, question mark? Which was again met with radio silence. And then we get to February 25th. I ask him, how does Sunday 7 p.m. EST sound? February 26th, radio mate, I need a response for the time so I can let the stream host know. Yes, Sunday at 7 p.m. will be perfect for me. So maybe he was lying in his post-debate video about not wanting to do it. But then again, you know the debate happened. What you probably are unaware of is what happened the day before the debate. Again, I messaged him the day before to make sure he was still available. A courtesy reminder, if you will. I'm on top of stuff like that. That's how I wrote. March 3rd, the day before. Just checking with you to make sure you're still on for tomorrow, 7 p.m. EST. And he comes back at me with, I'm sorry, but my sister and her friends just arrived from out of town yesterday, and my house is full. And they will be gone on Tuesday. We might still can do it, but there will be a lot of noise in the background and interruptions. If it's not too much for you, we can push back later. That would be great for me. I really want to have this discussion, but I want to do it right and without interruptions. Sorry, I have no peace and quiet and so much going on with me right now. Hit me back. It's amazing because both times prior to the said debate, he's had a week's notice of the date that he himself set, yet supposedly at the last minute, each time, the night before, something comes up that would inhibit that debate from happening. If it happens once, that's a damn shame. However, it happens twice, then that's something else. Either you are the worst forethinking man that I have ever interacted with, or you are trying to weasel your way out of this. So, I couldn't possibly let this draw out another 3 fucking weeks, radio, so I called your bluff. It's quite alright. I don't mind the noise, and neither does the host. There is a mute feature that Google Hangout has that allows the sound to not be distracting. He didn't respond back to me, and then I sent him something March 4th. Just a reminder, you'll get a link in it to the Hangout about 30 to 15 minutes till 7 p.m. tonight, and from there, we should be good. Make sure you have a good pair of headphones with a microphone. Radio 1 said, my sister and her kids are gone for the night, so send me the link. Well, what do you know? How convenient and timely of her. Now, why does this matter so much? Well, because right off the bat, radio starts off his video.
Okay. Now, I was not prepared for this debate. It was a last minute thing, and I really didn't want to do it, but I did it anyway.
By lying. 3 times, in fact, and we're only 30 seconds in, which establishes exactly how trustworthy Radio 1 actually is. But more importantly, it somewhat puts across the idea that I'm forcing Radio 1's hand in a sense, that I challenged him to the debate, that I'm the instigator of all this, and his hard troubles and tribulations to come from this debate, which we'll get to, by the way. We'll get to. But that's not the case. Radio, I'm going to talk to you directly now. You watched my video. You commented multiple times on that very video. You directly called for me to respond to you. Up until that point, I had just been compiling my favorite comments for a response video and not interacting in the comments much at all. You accepted my idea to have the discussion face-to-face. You decided to send me an email. I didn't send you an email. You set the date and time, both times in fact. No one else. The only thing I did was set it up on someone's channel. Now, if it were unclear, I really don't like people who try to bullshit me or themselves. But we'll get into that.
And the reason why I did it was to show that white people know nothing about ancient Egypt. Okay? So I had a debate with this white racist.
So Radio, why is my skin color so important that you need to point it out? Just curious. Oh wait, I know.
You know for a fact that my ancestors practiced white superiority.
Look, we are not just dealing with your ancestors, okay? This is not an individual thing, okay? We are talking about an entire race of people.
Yes, you're talking about all Europeans, correct? And how they're incredible because...
Yes. I can't just group you as individuals when we have the whole entire race, okay?
Are you grouping people together again, Radio 1?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. If they are part of the same group, they have the same belief. Well, first of all, okay, let's make it clear that all African Americans in America are not on the same page. Okay, we're not on the same page.
Okay, we're not on the same page.
Pretty much, yeah. If they are part of the same group, they have the same belief.
Okay, we're not on the same page.
You have all African Americans do not think like me. They got different beliefs than me.
What?
So
you're not all a group mind?
Yes. No, we are not.
Pretty much, yeah. If they are part of the same group, they have the same belief. The same group, they have the same belief. you have all African Americans do not think like me. They got different beliefs than me.
Because you believe in this collective hive mind per in-groups, however, don't also adhere to it when it comes to your own race. Thus, sir, you have ousted yourself as a racist and a hypocrite. Your logic is faulty, and I would rethink it.
Name, okay, this dumb white racist.
Mr. Radio 1, before you call me out for being uneducated, make sure that you, the so-called expert on all things ancient Egyptian, something that you've been gung-ho about for the past 7 years now, according to your channel, had better make fucking damn sure that you can string together a fucking cohesive, succinct, and clear point about your one true passion before, I don't know, I die from old age or boredom. Please. I beg of you. And I know the issue is not that you can't, in fact, speak like a fucking normal person, because of that little snippet at the beginning of your video about being a subservient to the dead sky daddy of ancient Egypt.
Yeah, what up, YouTube? It's your brother Radio 1. Peace and Hotep. Let me first give all honor and all praise to the God of my ancestors, the God of Africa, His Majesty the Most High, Amen-Ra.
He's not the actual sky daddy of the whole of Africa, mind you. That's actually a bit, I don't know, privileged of you to just bulldoze over the many, several thousands of other culture practices in Africa and religions, which are numerous. I have to apologize because of you to my audience. Guys, this is the only time you will ever get an atheistic type rant out of me from here on out. I could give a fuck about whether this high priest wannabe or anyone else has to say about their sky daddy, unless it's hurting people. In this rare isolated case where I am in fact using it to prove my point. But back to our regularly scheduled programming. Now, it's very telling that you bring this up, because if you remember in my first initial video from where all of this started, I in fact said, they did a chemical analysis of the original bust itself, the details of which can be found in a book entitled Head of Queen Noferetete and this Rudolph on page 6, according to the Wikisphere. And it found that the skin color of the bust was actually a light red. In fact, they know exactly what components were used in coloring the head of the bust. Fine powdered lime spar colored with red chalk or iron oxide. Just do a quick digital color analysis of exactly what skin tone each bust is. So here on the screen you can see the color results of the recreated bust. And it's a slightly rouge tinge, a tad peaky, a little bit warm colored. And then there's the original bust itself in a little more dimly lit room. As you can see, the color scheme, taken from the same area, the forehead in fact, is a bit darker by a few shades. As to be expected, it's in the shade. Then there is the same exact bust in different lighting, same placement of the marker, but from a different angle. And you will notice that the bust, when it has been illuminated fully, is actually several shades lighter than its shadowy counterpart. In fact, it's actually a few shades lighter than its recreation counterpart. So I gotta ask you, Radio, what the fuck were you doing when you watched my video? That you didn't pay enough fucking attention to my video in order to not actually catch that we made the exact same fucking point. Also, and now I will play here where you effectively concede my third point multiple times, that Egypt was in fact diverse.
Are you saying that they didn't intermingle with the races? Because it sounds like what it is that you're saying.
Well, we really can't tell. So I mean, but what we do know is that the Hyksos dynasties, when they came into Egypt, okay, they were all succeeded by when the Hyksos kings ruled Egypt. Okay, all their successors were Hyksos or Asiatics, just like them. Okay, there was never so that right there clearly shows you that the Hyksos rulers and Hyksos people that were in Egypt, pretty much did not mix with the Egyptians. They kept their dynasty within their own bloodline. Okay, and that's another point. Okay, that's another point that you fail to miss. When we deal with ancient Egyptian royalty and bloodline, I mean, the kingship. Okay, they kept it within the family. Okay?
I'm aware
they kept it within the family.
But we're not talking about Egyptian pharaohs when I'm talking about that diversity of Egypt. Unless you're saying that the only Egyptians that counted were the royalties. That's a little bit, I don't know, classist of you, isn't it?
Hold on.
When I was talking about the diversity of Egypt, I was not exclusively referring to the royalty of Egypt. No, I was talking about the common men, the people, okay? You've conflated both of my points into one gigantic-ass point, which is unfair to me, because now we've just wasted a whole bunch of time talking past each other.
when we deal with the common people, okay, they were the same people as the royalty. That's what you have to understand, okay?
No, they weren't.
The ancient Egyptians, okay, so you're trying to tell me that, okay, from what we see on the tomb, a group of say like the image from tomb of Rekhmire or tomb of Sennacherib, okay, you have these Egyptians. I'm gonna tell you how they clearly look. Okay, they are depicted as a dark reddish brown color. Okay, and they have this some of them have braids in their hair and all that, but they have if you look at King Tut and all the rest of them, they look the same. Okay,
We're talking about King Tut versus the royalty, or
yes,
we're talking about the common man versus the royalty.
Yes, the common man versus the royalty. Okay,
that's actually
but let's to make an argument short. Let's just make this clear. Okay, there was never a pharaoh sitting on the throne that looked like Osama bin Laden. Okay, or that looked like some Arab from the Middle East. Okay, that's what you're trying to say. You're trying to say that the ancient Egyptians were the Middle Eastern looking people, but they were not. Okay, you're full of you know what when you say that. Okay, so just be real about it and just say that they were brown skinned African people instead of saying that they were these Arab looking people. Now I'm not saying that. Okay, the ancient Egyptians had this one look. Okay, now we know that they were. According to their tomb images, they were many different colors. Okay,
just be real about it and just say that they were brown-skinned African people instead of saying that they were these Arab-looking people.
Although there may have been some that were light skinned, and there may have been some that was very dark skinned, jet black, but the majority were of dark reddish brown complexion or mahogany complexion. Okay,
just be real about it. And just say that they were brown-skinned African people instead of saying that they were these Arab-looking people.
We have to make this distinction.
Okay.
Okay, we have to make this distinction because some of y'all want people to believe that the people of ancient Egypt were made up of only jet black Nubians and these Arab-looking people.
I've never said that.
That's not the case.
Oh, so then we're in
or jet
agreement
black
Egypt
Nubians
was diverse.
or Middle Eastern looking people, huh?
So then we're in agreement that Egypt was diverse. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, yes, we can't say it was diverse, but the pharaohs and the ancient Egyptians, let's make this clear. Now, you may say that the pharaohs and the ancient Egyptians, the true Egyptians, did not look Nubian, but let's make this clear. They did not look Middle Eastern or European either.
Just be real about it and just say that they were brown-skinned African people instead of saying that they were these Arab-looking people.
Because those Polish people, they may feel inferior, okay, to other Germans or Europeans, but they may feel superior to Africans. Okay, you have Hispanic people. Okay, you have Hispanic people who are discriminated against. Okay, by white Europeans. Okay, and they feel inferior because of that. Okay, but when they get around Africans, it's a different story.
Wait, are you speaking on behalf of all of these different groups of people? You know exactly what all of these people are thinking? At any given point in time, you can actually definitively say for certain that these people feel exactly this way.
Well, first of all, I can't read nobody's mind.
Exactly.
Okay? So I mean, that's the problem. Okay. Because we have a lot of people that are hidden racists, okay? They are racist, but they don't want to let it out. They don't want to show it, okay? So it's kind of hard to tell, okay?
I'll take that win to the bank. Thank you very much.
White racist girl named Weebo Jones, okay? I had a debate with her, okay? And she told me to show some images, okay, of a reddish brown or mahogany colored Nefertiti. I'm going to show that, and I'm going to get back to the subject. So we see these images right here showing that Nefertiti had reddish brown skin like the average Egyptian. Okay, on this image right here, you see that the color is almost gone, but you can see some trace of reddish brown showing that she was portrayed as that color.
Are you saying that they didn't intermingle with the races? Because it sounds like what it is that you're saying.
Well, we really can't tell. So I mean, but what we do know is that the Hyksos dynasties, when they came into Egypt, okay, they were all succeeded by when the Hyksos kings ruled Egypt. Okay, all their successors were Hyksos or Asiatics, just like them. Okay, there was never so that right there clearly shows you that the Hyksos rulers and Hyksos people that were in Egypt, okay, pretty much did not mix with the Egyptians. They kept their dynasty within their own bloodline. Okay, and that's another point. Okay, that's another point that you fail to miss. When we deal with ancient Egyptian royalty and bloodline, I mean, on the kingship, okay, they kept it within the family. Okay?
I'm aware
they kept
of
it within the family.
But we're not talking about Egyptian pharaohs. We're not talking about that diversity of Egypt, unless you're saying that the only Egyptians that counted were the royalties. That's a little bit, I don't know, classist of you, isn't it?
Hold on.
When I was talking about the diversity of Egypt, I was not exclusively referring to the royalty of Egypt. No, I was talking about the common men, the people, okay? You've conflated both of my points into one gigantic ass point, which is unfair to me because now we've just wasted a whole bunch of time talking past each other.
Well, when we deal with the common people, okay, they were the same people as the royalty. That's what you have to understand, okay?
No, they weren't.
The ancient Egyptians, okay. So you're trying to tell me that, okay, from what we see on the tomb, a group of say like the image from tomb of Reckmeyer or tomb of Sennacherib. Okay, you have these Egyptians. I'm gonna tell you how they clearly look. Okay, they are depicted as a dark reddish brown color. Okay, and they have this some of them have braids in their hair and all that, but they have and if you look at King Tut and all the rest of them, they look the same. Okay,
we're talking about King Tut versus the royalty, or we're talking about the common man versus the royalty.
Yes, the common man versus the royalty. Okay,
that's actually
let's to make an argument short. Let's just make this clear. Okay, there was never a pharaoh sitting on the throne that looked like Osama bin Laden. Okay, or that looked like some Arab from the Middle East. Okay, that's what you're trying to say. You're trying to say that the ancient Egyptians were the Middle Eastern looking people, but they were not. Okay, you're full of you know what when you say that. Okay, so just be real about it and just say that they were brown skinned African people instead of saying that they were these Arab looking people. Now I'm not saying that. Okay, the ancient Egyptians had this one look. Okay. Now we know that they were, according to their tomb images, they were many different colors. Okay,
just be real about it and just say that they were brown-skinned African people instead of saying that they were these Arab-looking people.
Although there may have been some that were light skinned, and there may have been some that was very dark skinned, jet black, but the majority were of dark reddish brown complexion or mahogany complexion. Okay,
just be real about it. And just say that they were brown-skinned African people instead of saying that they were these Arab-looking people.
We have to make this distinction.
Okay,
we have to make this distinction because some of y'all want people to believe that the people of ancient Egypt were made up of only jet black Nubians and these Arab-looking people.
I've never said that.
That's not the case.
Oh, so then we're in
or jet
agreement
black Nubians
Egypt was diverse.
or Middle Eastern looking people, huh?
So then we're in agreement that Egypt was diverse. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, yes, we can't say it was diverse, but the pharaohs and the ancient Egyptians, let's make this clear. Now, you may say that the pharaohs and the ancient Egyptians, the true Egyptians, did not look Nubian, but let's make this clear. They did not look Middle Eastern or European either.
Just be real about it and just say that they were brown-skinned African people instead of saying that they were these Arab-looking people.
Because those Polish people, they may feel inferior, to other Germans or Europeans, but they may feel superior to Africans. You have Hispanic people, you have Hispanic people who are discriminated against, by white Europeans, and they feel inferior because of that, but when they get around Africans, it's a different story.
Wait, are you speaking on behalf of all of these different groups of people? You know exactly what all of these people are thinking? At any given point in time, you can actually definitively say, for certain, that these people feel exactly this way.
Well, first of all, I can't read nobody's mind.
Exactly.
So I mean, that's the problem, because we have a lot of people that are hidden racists, They are racist, but they don't want to let it out. They don't want to show it, So it's kind of hard to tell,
And next to her is her husband, Akhenaten.
Bruder, I cannot see the way.
Okay, and you can see she has the full lips and the African nose, and she looks nothing like that fake, white, pale light-skinned bust in that fake reconstruction that was made of her. Here's another image. You look on the bottom left. You see Nefertiti right there next to her husband Akhenaten in the middle. So you see that. See Nefertiti looking the same as she did on her other images, showing that that's how she really looked. Nothing like that bust.
No, not at all, actually. Because half of her is fucking out of the image. Also, you have this really annoying tendency to not source your facts or your images whatsoever. Did you know that? Radio. Source your fucking shit, and maybe people might take you seriously. Give a tomb number, a dynasty, a museum link, for fuck's sake. God, is it so hard? There's a tip from your favorite cave beast. But on that note, let me provide you with a few images of my own. Some plaster-made images from the renowned sculptor of Egypt, Thutmose. Sure, we're not gonna get a skin shade, but at least we can tackle those pesky "looks nothing like the bust" rumors I've heard so much about from your jabbering mouth. I don't want to get into a semantics argument with you because I did that already, and frankly, it grew so boring that I started playing a little game in my head, which was this. Guess when radio is going to say okay in a sentence and then try and beat him to it? Some people caught on, some people didn't. But I recommend you don't play that drinking game, just saying. Again, we have this issue of cherry-picking images and traits and dichotomizing against the races based on those traits. For instance, according to the academics in my comments section of my Nefertiti video, did you know that apparently white people go the way of vampires when in direct sunlight? Curious, no? I would have thought that at least a few of us tanned, but I guess not. That's just a theory, maybe. I don't know. But what you have to realize, radio, and I understand that it's going to be difficult to grasp because you don't believe in genetics, but judging what an entire group of people might have looked like based on physical attributes presented in those drawings can only get you so far, especially when there are so many of them with varying skin tones and attributes as well. Like I said, cherry pick all you want, but it doesn't erase the fact that just digitally touring around, say, Seti the First's tomb is going to give you a bigger picture that actually proves my point.
So I was debating this dumb white racist. Okay.
Yeah, you still have yet to substantiate the claim that I am a racist, even within the live stream when I confronted you directly about that claim. You could not fucking substantiate it without diverting the conversation to some other convoluted point, like, oh, I bet you were thinking of saying the N-word during your filming process, or, oh, if you say we was Kangs, it's a racist thing. It was Kangs, it's a phrase meant to poke fun at those who subscribe to the Black Egyptian hypothesis, which is funny. If you don't know, a hypothesis is an even lower tier grade science word than that of a theory. So technically, shouldn't the Black Egyptian hypothesis be a little bit of a, I don't know, an opinion? Here's about 3 minutes of heated angry Weibo versus Radio 1.
Okay, and I'm telling you that there are some that shows her skin color.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's apparent that that you never took the time to you never took the time out to research it.
I did.
I mean, so you
wanna look at the
pretty much getting engaged into an argument that you know absolutely nothing about.
I know absolutely nothing about it. Okay. Do you want to?
Yeah, because I mean, who was the first pharaoh of Egypt, you didn't know. Okay, and that's why
I'm not talking about the first pharaoh of Egypt.
Ignorance that you do because you do not know.
I was talking about Nefertiti in the 18th dynasty. I was not talking about the first pharaoh of Egypt. I could give a fuck. I was talking about Nefertiti. My entire video centered around Nefertiti. And then I digressed into the diversity of Africa as it is today and in ancient history. I never said, oh, the first pharaoh of Egypt
is about Nefertiti. Okay, it's about Egypt. It's about Africa.
My video, the one that you took,
bigger than Nefertiti.
The one where you called me a cave beast and mutant dog. Oh. That's what we were talking about. This is where this whole thing started. I don't give a fuck.
If you stop acting like one, I wouldn't have to call you one.
Why'd you call her a cave beast dog?
If I were to stop acting like one, exactly what does it?
You said a lot of derogative things on that video about black people.
Like what? What did I say? You did make a claim that I was racist.
Did you say the N-word?
No, I didn't.
No,
I did not say the N-word in my video.
Making sure.
What did I say? That was racist. What did I say?
You're sure she wanted to? Like you
know exactly what goes on in my head when I'm making a video.
You can go back and look at the video yourself and see what you said.
I have the script.
I don't have to repeat it to you.
I have the exact script. Would you like to read it, Andy? Because I can give it to you.
No, I believe you. Okay. What did you find offensive in her thing? I'm in her video that made it sound like she was about to say the N-word or wanted to.
I mean,
like, what was something that you were like, yo, this bitch is tripping right now?
Well, first of all, if she had said the N-word, her video probably would have been taken down. So,
I have the
I'm sure if we were somewhere all alone when nobody else was around, yeah, I believe she'll say it.
I have this.
Or you think if you were like in a room with her alone, she'd say it, but just not online?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, are you thinking of saying the N-word?
No, I'm thinking of calling this motherfucker a delusional nitwit.
Yeah, you speak for yourself.
You're the one who has assurances in your own head that I would say something. You don't know me. You've never met me. You've never interacted with me except for in the comment section of my video, in emails, and within that single video, unless you've watched other videos. But you don't know me. You don't know anything about me. Mm-hmm. So how can you definitively say that I was so eager to say the N-word while I was filming my video or editing my video or scripting my video? Not once.
So you mean to tell me that the person you are on your videos is not you?
The person I am in my videos is me.
So I mean, so
what about me?
Okay.
In my video,
if
makes you
I'm
think
watching
that
the video and that's you, and you saying I don't know you, I mean that means you're putting on the front. That means you're a fake.
No, what I'm saying is you don't know me or what goes on in my head except for what you see in my videos. And what I said in my videos is exactly what I act like in real life. Did I say the N-word?
I don't know much about you. I mean, I know you're racist.
Okay, prove it.
Because only a racist say we was kings and all that nonsense. Okay.
Okay. How does that?
In saying that the ancient Egyptians were not black and not African. I mean,
no, I didn't say they were not African. I said they were of mixed national origin because it's true. They were invaded. Or didn't you bring that up earlier? They were invaded, right?
You can't prove that.
I can't prove that they were invaded.
The only let me make it clear to you, I mean, because you are not talking about historical reality here. Okay,
I'm not
you're
talking about
some
historical reality.
okay. Wait a minute. Are we talking about the Egypt in Africa? Are we talking about the Egypt in Africa, or
Yeah, we
are we
are.
talking about Egypt in Sweden or somewhere?
No, we're talking about the Egypt in Africa. And my entire
Okay, then.
statement revolved around the fact that Egypt
So
was diverse on the simple basis of the virtue of the fact that they had been interacting interculturally around the
no,
Mediterranean region with other people.
that's
Is
the
that
fake Egypt you're talking about. Okay, that's not the real Egypt.
That's not the
Okay,
real Egypt?
that's not the real Egypt. No,
According to
that's
who?
a fairy tale Egypt.
What are we
Okay.
talking about? Which Egypt are
Okay,
we talking about?
when we deal with the real Egypt, the first invasion of Egypt was
Okay.
from the south. Okay,
So-
was the founding dynasty. Okay,
Current day
after
Egypt is not real Egypt?
that, the Egypt you're talking about is not real Egypt.
Which
That's what I'm
Egypt
saying.
am I talking about?
He's saying that the facts you're bringing is a story tale. That's what he's saying. He's not
Which-
contesting the geographical position.
Okay.
He's
There's no
saying,
such thing as a multiracial. Egypt was African. It was black African. Okay, the founders of Egypt came from the south of Egypt. They came from the southern Nile Valley.
Now, radio, I have done not one single thing, nor said one single thing in that video, nor to you, that would even come close to depicting me as a racist. And as for what goes on in my head and what I'm thinking, radio, if you're hearing my voice in your head, then you need to see a doctor. If not, then fuck off with this bullshit about what I was thinking about saying when making my video, because you have no fucking clue. You're just throwing ad hominems out there, waiting for something to stick like it's fucking free candy, and you got a white van. I find that this is a truly pathetic type of person who can't accurately formulate a legitimate insult that he can also then substantiate on actual shenanigans. What you have to understand, radio, is that that word is, or should be rather, a serious accusation put upon someone's character in instances where it most definitely applies without a doubt. Because it can ruin lives, radio, careers, all manner of personal relationships. So, throwing it around should be well deserved. And unless you can prove that I am, then it's mere slander and I have grounds to sue your ass. I won't, though, because I'm a free speech absolutist. You can say whatever the fuck you want about me. And that's it. That's a simple fact of the matter. No ifs, ands, or buts. But someday, radio, someone may not be so kind and merciful as I am to you. Remember that before you go jumping the gun again.
And when I was debating her, I asked her simple questions. Okay, questions that a amateur or a novice on the history of ancient Egypt would know. I asked her who was the first pharaoh of Egypt. She could not answer the question. Okay, who was the last pharaoh of Egypt? She could not answer the question. Okay, where did the family of the 18th dynasty originate from? She did not know. Okay, but she did a lot of other stuff to try to make herself look good. Okay, but the point was she knew nothing about ancient Egypt.
Well, I'm not an amateur, nor am I a novice, such as yourself. Merely someone with a mild interest in the subject, enough of an interest to do some reading. You see, I never claimed to be an expert, radio. At all. But frankly, to say that I knew nothing is provably false, and anyone who actually watched that debate can attest to the falseness of such a ridiculous statement. Imagine this. Imagine having so few criticisms of my actual position that in a 4.5-minute video, you spend a good portion of it criticizing the fact that I don't know a few answers about a culture that's history spans some 5,000 years. Damn, son. You want to be some authority figure on a topic? Please get your house in order if you want people to take you seriously, radio.
Okay, that's why I'm trying to tell you these white racists know nothing about ancient Egypt.
Absolutely nothing. So much of nothing that you and I managed to hold a 2.5 to 3 hour conversation about it. Nothing. Your premise implies three things. One, that I'm a racist. Two, that I'm a representative of all races who are specifically white. And three, that none of them know anything about Egypt. Which is a pretty broad generalization to make. There's a bit of a falsity there, son, as it implies that I am a racist, which you have yet to prove, by the way. But then that I'm also a representative of all white racists out there. Of that, I can assure you, I am most definitely not, and you should trust me on this. If the comments are indicative of anything, I'm pretty sure we're on somewhat of an equal footing in that respect. And I know you saw the comments about both of us. You addressed it in your 14-minute post-debate follow-up. Yes, I actually said that right. There were two videos that he made following up. Not just the one. Word to the wise, by the way, just ignore the hate. Eventually it goes away. Unless you're like me and it makes you laugh, in which case, then by all means, proceed.
Okay, she gained herself some new subscribers. Me, personally, it wasn't about subscribers. I don't care about that, okay? Matter of fact, I'm kind of glad, that I have few subscribers, okay? Because people who gain subscribers and get all these subscribers and get all this money from you, okay? The reason why they do it because they tell you what you want to hear, okay? I'm not gonna tell you what you want to hear.
Huh. If I made content because I wanted subscribers alone out of this, I'd titty stream, or I'd jump on every single bandwagon viral issue that has the media and such up in arms at any given point in time. But if you ever decide to actually go through my content, you'll notice that I have an extensive catalog of topics, not all of them viral, nor all of them meant to attract a large audience. Now, I'm not saying that the attention and the views aren't nice, and that the Patreon donations aren't great as a side thing for, helping me get through college. But what I am saying is that this has never really been about the money, or the amount of subs for that matter. It's always been an outlet for me to shout into the void of the internet, as opposed to me just shouting it in my head. If I wanted more subs, or whatever, I would take up the 3 other people who decided to challenge me on the exact same fucking issue, to go on the exact same fucking platform for no other fucking reason than just because, oh, it's Andy Worski's channel. I know about Egypt. And hey, you know what? If people want to listen to my cringe ass talking to a laptop alone in my room on a Sunday morning at 4 a.m., I see no problem with that. Yeah. But, dude, don't insult my audience. They are not a hive mind, and they are not thought clones of me. They're people, just like you and just like me. And I know this because I take the time to interact with them. So you can fuck off with that generalizing shit that you like to do.
I'm gonna tell you the truth, okay? So it's all about the truth for me. That stuff don't matter. It means nothing to me.
Except that you've effectively lied in the first 30 seconds of this video, radio, and I caught you doing it. And by your own logic, that being that any reputation of lies merits a person's claims as unfounded crackpot theories, that should put you in the same category, should it not?
Well, first of all, I go by what historical records say. Okay, a lot of people, a lot of people, some people go by genetics. I don't go by genetics. Okay, because a lot of the genetics are based on theories. Okay, first of all, they're based on theories, and when they say that, when they talk about certain haplogroup, they can't even come to a conclusion that what place of origin that haplogroup come from. Some say when you look on Wikipedia or whatever, or you read any DNA study, they say a possible place of origin for this type of haplogroup. So I don't go by genetics. Okay, when they do a study on a mummy, okay, that mummy is dead. Okay,
Yes.
that mummy cannot speak for itself. Okay, the person that is doing the study on that mummy, all the saying is coming from him. Okay, and we know that you people have a reputation of lying.
Okay, so but the point is, she knew nothing about ancient Egypt. Okay, I was in a hostile environment. I held my ground. I was on my own, and that was the point for me. The point of me doing the debate was to show that these people know nothing about ancient Egypt.
Yes. Heard it all before. Get to the fucking point.
And she said that the 18th dynasty was a multiracial dynasty.
No, false. Again, and you're conflating my points.
So I'm not disputing you that there are native Egyptian dynasties. It's never been my issue. What my issue was that, one, Egypt was diverse. The other one was that we don't know anything about Nefertiti with regards to where she came from, and also that she looked similar to the bust that was the original bust. So I'm not disputing you that there were native Egyptian dynasties. Of course not. That's ridiculous. My claim is, one, Egyptian has been and will always be diverse because of where it is positioned on the map, and two, that we don't know anything about Nefertiti, and that she very possibly could have been that light-skinned as the bust presented her.
At this juncture, I'm wondering if you're just being willfully misrepresentative, or you are actually that much of a fool that after I've repeated it to you multiple times on stream to your face, you have yet to actually get this through your skull. But I repeat myself again, on the off chance that your Wernicke's area has spontaneously developed into something fully functional, or resembling that of a fully functioning Wernicke's area. My points were, and listen closely, radio, because this is the last time I'm going to say it to you. 1. The recreation and the original bust came pretty goddamn close to each other. 2, we don't know anything about Nefertiti. And 3, that Egypt has been and is diverse. They are separate points.
Okay, and I'm showing you these images to show you that she was wrong. Okay, she is wrong. The 18th dynasty was not a multiracial dynasty. All these images that I'm showing on this video right now are from the 18th dynasty.
Now, all these images he's showing you that are cherry-picked, that are not sourced, that you're just going to have to take his word for because why not? I mean, he knows everything about Egypt, guys, okay? Except that we already know that you're a liar, Radio. So I don't doubt that you wouldn't also lie by omission to satisfy your own agenda, which we know you're an identitarian. I don't care enough to debunk you. Because you willfully misrepresented me in my position, lied and disrespected me and my audience. I'm the one acting like a cave theist?
And you can clearly see that they all look the same. Look, there's King Tut, okay? He looks no different from the images that I showed previously.
Just because I'm feeling exceptionally petty today, I am so glad that you decided to show this particular image to prove a point because it so beautifully proves mine. I will now show my audience how completely easy it is to cherry-pick images to fit a specific agenda, especially when it comes to Egypt. Here are some of my own graphics of the same exact fucking thing. It's the throne of Tutankhamun. Depicted here are him and his wife in various different lightings, backgrounds, and angles on screen. You'll notice that the images themselves are all rather, well, contrasted differently, let's put it that way. Make of them what you will, but the simple fact remains, any one of these images gives a different perspective to the viewer. So, I'm sorry if I don't necessarily believe Radio when he makes a claim using an image. Essentially what we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is a what color is the dress argument all over again. And I've never been less interested in engaging in that sort of a mind kerfuffle in my life.
Okay, another one, Amenhotep III, okay? The 18th dynasty was a purely African dynasty, okay? That's why they all look the same. They all had one look, okay? It was not a multiracial dynasty, okay? So, yeah, I'm going to post the link up for the debate. You can go see it for yourself, okay? You can clearly see where she says that she don't give a F-U-C-K about the first dynasty. She don't care about ancient Egypt, none of that.
No, I don't give a fuck about the first dynasty because I went into that debate for a very specific purpose. My video and your issues with it. But you decided to talk about anything but it. Let's talk about the first dynasty, the 25th dynasty, the Hyksos, the Ptolemy line, the Asiatics, the Arabs. Everything under the sun but what my video was fucking talking about. Oh, mind you, we got there after a painstakingly long-ass process in which I sternly reminded you exactly what purpose it was that we were serving by being there. You took more fucking detours than a shady taxi driver, Radio, and I'm not even sure you actually managed to get to a cohesive fucking point. I made a video with 3 very specific points that you decided to jumble together in your blender that is your head and spew back at me directly like it was dirt on your tongue.
Okay, she's just a dumb racist.
And then you called me a racist, Radio.
Okay, that's trying to get popularity, okay, and she cares nothing about ancient Egypt. So check out the debate. I know I won the debate. That's why I won the debate, because I proved that white people know nothing about Egypt. And until next time, Egypt stays in Africa. Peace, family.
And the best part, the most wonderful, wonderful part of this whole kerfuffle is that this, I'm saying it right here, this is the last time I will acknowledge you, Radio. And your friends, for that matter. And you want to know why? Because you have nothing new to say. In no coherent way that is at all easy to follow. Nothing really to argue against, so you had to go and make up a boogeyman argument for me. I have grown bored of you, Radio. But before I say hasta la vista to you once and for all, my friend, some parting words of advice for you. 1, and this is the big one for obvious reasons, consider scripting your videos prior to filming them. It's been 7 years, your content quality needs an upgrade. 2, consider sourcing your information, otherwise you make yourself out to be just another average jabbering conspiracy nut on the internet. 3, if you decide to act like a tough guy and come into someone's comment section like a spastic on meth with your random capitalization and throwing ad hominems and shit, like it's Bryce at a wedding or whatever, don't be surprised when it gets returned in kind. If you can't handle the heat, then you better get out of the fucking kitchen, as it were. 4, next time you challenge someone, make sure you actually want to engage with them. Otherwise, keep your keyboard Tourette's and impulse challenges under lock and key in your head. I'm not even going to get into the 14-minute "I'm a victim of the internet bullies" second follow-up video. You really are a reactionary spastic, aren't you, son? And then, because of that video, you had to upload an apology video because you were a reactionary spastic and jumped the gun. Update, this video has actually been deleted now. Dude, have you learned nothing? I'm not even going to bother. I'm like 78% sure that you're a fucking po, honestly, at this point. I have no fucking clue. I can't tell. Before I do go, I will leave you with this message to Weibo Jones and other racist white supremacists. This debate clearly exposed the fact that white people have a hate for real history, and because of this, you white people should just leave history alone because it is not for you. And from now on, you are forbidden to use the words like Egypt, Ethiopia, Carthage, Pharaoh, Phoenician, and Persia. Oh boy. Egypt, Ethiopia, Carthage, Pharaoh, Phoenician, Persia. Because those are words that come from the same writings of history that you hate in favor of your pseudoscience and genetics. White America, your time is up. Your authority is soon coming to an end, and you will well deserve the doom that is coming upon you all. I really did not want to be in this debate because I am very angry when I'm around white devils and Negro coons, and just looking at Weibo Jones' ugly white devil cave-eaten face made me want to shoot my computer screen. You don't like my face? Does the Egyptian garb help at all? I thought it might.
She's a beast. I call her karma. She eats your heart out like Jeffrey Dahmer.
But that did sound like a bit of a failed threat. So, someone should be on the lookout for this gentleman. He seems like a very unhinged man. But I feel comfortable when I'm around my people, and that is conscious pro-black brothers and sisters. I just want to be clear. I don't hate you, radio. I wish no ill will upon you. I hope that my audience is mature enough to actually refrain from returning said fire. I, however, do find you rather annoying, disingenuous, a bit on the uptight side, and reactionary to the max, to be frank. Now, I will say, I was heated with you during the debate because of those reasons, on top of which you were taking your sweet time to actually get to a point, and I'm not the most patient of people. Easily bored, short attention span, I don't know, it must be the cave beast in me. So my big mama voice came out, and I got stern with you, but please don't take it too personal. I do the same thing to my brother and my sister, drunk people or tripping college friends, and if I came off as a bitch, it's because, well, I am. Anyway, it's been real, but I have some feminists I need to go piss off for this Mother's Day video I have planned. Third diss track to write, and some bullshit double standards to expose. Plus a 5 and 6K subscriber special to do. Shit. I'm gonna be busy, and oh fuck, school. That's a thing. I really should focus on school. I just declared my majors. This is not the time for petty distractions and slacking at all. Oh my god. Oh boy. One last thing before I go. I would like to present you with the honorary and prestigious Straw Man Award. You, above all other people, deserve it this week. So this is goodbye, radio. Have a good life, brother. Now, for my audience that are still here and still care, if you like what I'm doing here with my channel, please consider checking out my Patreon, Maker Support, Teespring, and Amazon links found in the description down below. If maybe you don't like my stuff that much, that's cool. You can always like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. Oh, also, did you guys like the new setup? I'm standing up instead of sitting down, so I get to move around a little bit more. I'm a little bit more animated. You get to see the spastic within. Anyway, peace.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
I just want to make
yeah.
sure.
Bo, did you have fun
Okay.
on the show? Did you have a good
Yeah.
time?
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Um, my point is, okay, regardless of what your theory is about ancient Egypt, okay, I mean, because you can say that they were Caucasian, Middle Eastern, or whatever all you want, okay, because we all know it's BS, and we know it's a lie and it's based on theories, but okay, but whatever you say, I mean, whatever your opinion is, okay, just make sure if you make a documentary depicting them or making a movie depicting them, depict them. I mean, the show them the way that they depicted themselves.
Okay.
That's from the cave, the tomb wall of Ramos. And you want to tell me that they look dark reddish color? The
Well,
common man?
those are the women. Okay. Now we know
Yeah, those are the women.
from ancient Egyptian history that that the pharaohs took a lot of women from Asia and brought them in as concubines.
Oh, okay. Hang on. I got something even better for you. You are still seeing the 18th dynasty funeral procession tomb of Ramos TT55 of the Vizier of Imhotep III. Now you will see that these are lamenting women who are essentially wailers, the mourners. And then we have a whole bunch of other members of the normie population, essentially. More normie population, because I don't think the royalty would actually hold up. I think that's a sarcophagus, religious symbols and such. We have more normies over here, so you cannot tell me that they were all the same exact color based off of this graphic here from the tomb of Ramos. Can you?
Well, I'm not saying that they were all the same color. I'm saying the majority of them were of one typical color. Okay.
I'm looking at it right here, and it doesn't.
Let's make a distinction here. Okay. Okay. When we deal with the Asiatics, okay, we know that most of them are somewhat light brown. Okay, and some of them are white, some of them are dark brown, but most of them are light brown. Okay, and when you deal with the ancient Egyptians, okay, most of them were dark reddish brown. Some were light skinned. Some were okay. And when you deal with the Nubians, they show the Nubians. Most Nubians were jet black, and some were brown skinned. Okay,
they were diverse in their presentation of skin tone.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there is evidence that of Asian women coming. So it's really hard to say if they were light skinned Egyptians or if they were Asiatics living in Egypt. So, I mean, that's a really hard argument. But the point is, the ancient Egyptians clearly depicted themselves as looking one way. Okay, that's the fact. I mean, that's the point that I'm making. I mean, if you're gonna depict them the way that they depicted themselves. Okay, and not different and not something that's based on your own biases and your own prejudice.
So it's really hard to say if they were light-skinned Egyptians or if they were Asiatics living in Egypt.